Tried to get a few odd jobs done around garden today. It started raining again. It's like 9th of June. Raining. But I'm still going to get some things done regardless. That potato plant that weren't looking very good is actually looking a lot worse. So I've had to cut a lot of the foliage away because it had all gone limp and fell outside a pot. And there's a bit of green left. There's just not a lot. So I'm just wondering if this plant's about done. Everything is like really dying back to nothing. I can see fresh growth in between these branches, but and it is reading that it's wet enough, but it's not wet through. So I'm not sure about that one. I've got a few more bits and bobs in garden that I've got going on, so all I can do with that is just leave it and hope something at least comes out of that. If it's only a meal, it's better than nothing. And I've been having a look at this container, Petit Pois, that we planted. It's doing quite well. Lots and lots of flowers on it now. And now we've started getting some Petit Pois peas on it as well. There's a couple more there. So it's started doing something now. And that's all that matters. These outdoor cucumbers that we put in, they're looking a little bit worse for wear, so I'm wondering if once again there's a bit of competition for root space going off in this container, so I might take these lettuces out. That little raspberry plant that we bought, if you remember on the previous video, was quite small. It's grown quite a bit in this container and it's coming to flower as well, so that's good news. And I think we might have the same thing going off with this. I think I'm going to have to take these lettuces out. I didn't think they'd grow this big, but they are pretty much taking over everything now. And I've got the sweet corn in here as well, plus peas, so something has got to give. So I think we'll take one out. But that's going to provide us with a really nice salad at some point this week. I'm going to take them both out. And now I can clear this area up a little bit, get rid of any dead or decaying leaves, and hopefully give these sweet corn a little bit more room to grow, because they are quite thick at the moment. And we need to start tying it to this stick because it's going to one side a little bit, but that's a 2-minute job. And we need to get these peas climbing as well. And these have got flowers on too, so but we need to pin them up like that, and then that's perfect for them to keep on growing. That container of onions is looking quite good. They're starting to get a little bit of size to them now, so good news. Those cabbages are getting a good size on them as well. And we had to give them a bit of a treatment with that homemade spray because there were aphids on them. So one of them jobs you've got to keep on top of all the time. Otherwise you end up with like that. We had to throw one away, it was no good. But everything else is looking quite well. Even these calabrese are looking pretty good, considering the first lot we put in bolted. We have had one problem though, unfortunately. These red onions are going to seed. The white ones behind them are all fine, but it's all the red barons, even though they've got a little bit of size to them. So we could still pull them and use them, but they're not going to last much longer. Now they're starting to get these flower heads on top, and they definitely won't store. And those sunflowers we dug up out at greenhouse, they've at least survived that transplant and are starting to get flower heads on them now. And we put some peas in here only a few days ago, and I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a little pea just starting to come through now. That's the one we covered with glass for a few days. And I've brought these up here because that acer has got burn marks on the leaves if you look there. The trouble with acers is they don't like being in wind, and we've had nothing but wind for weeks. So it's got a bit of damage, so I'm thinking I might take it out of this pot and we'll plant it in ground somewhere here. And I've also moved that one up as well. That's getting some really nice flowers on it now. We just need to clear some of this old growth from around bottom. And that little fuchsia that we bought and we just popped it in a pot, that's now starting to come into flower. And this is an hardy fuchsia, so the cold won't bother that at all. And a few more pansies in this box here. I have to tie those peas up again, but at least they're trying, especially that one. And we put some osters up here, and these were tiny. There was about an inch sticking out at soil when we first put them up here, not very long ago. And now they're starting to get some really good growth on them. And we've stuck those holly leaves around base because that'll keep the slugs from eating them. And we also moved this fern because it was like this. The entire plant was virtually like that. And the thing with ferns is they don't like being in full sun. They're shade loving plants. So since we've moved it up here, all this new growth started appearing. And these osters are growing really well in this part shade area. And this one is quite big and it's just getting its flower on. So that's obviously happy. And again, holly leaves around base of plant, and there's not a mark on any of the leaves. And the same with this one. No leaf damage whatsoever, thanks to those holly leaves that I put around the base of plant. So that works really well. I started doing a bit of work on this today as well. That window was broke, so I've took it out today and we've put a new one in, and then I'm going to repaint all the front to this shed. So I want to get it all looking really nice for summer. So as always, lots and lots going on in the garden despite the weather. All this bed's really starting to come into flower now. That plant there has doubled in size in just a couple of weeks. It was basically the same size as this. So I think what I'm going to do is pop this one in ground, because it's obviously root bound. And just to further what I was saying, that's an oster, as you'd normally plant it, and the slugs are devastating all leaves. This grass is starting to come on a bit as well now, which is good. And those are the blue bedders that we grew from seed, also coming into flower. So as I was saying to you, it's overcast, it's windy again, and it keeps raining. But it's not stopping me going out there and getting some things done. So I'm going to take this dianthus and I'm going to get it planted up in beer garden somewhere, because I want that to grow as big as the other one we just saw. And if I take it out, if I can get it out, you can see the extent of the root problem we've got going on here. So that's definitely going in ground, because these are perennials as well. But if you let them get root bound, they'll just die in that pot and they won't come back. So it'd be a shame to let that happen. So I'll get it moved on. So I've got my brush, I've got some paint, and hopefully this rain's not going to continue all through the day, so I can actually get a little bit of something done. So if you want to keep up with the progress of what we do in that container garden, in this beer garden, the greenhouses and the hoop tunnels, as we transcend from spring into summer, then just hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and we'll see you on the next video. You all take care. Thanks for watching.